Well, I'm Matthew Lamont, and there's like a mystery trailer that's going on around here. People are telling me to look at it. What is this mystery trailer, I wonder? Is it something good or something bad? And I've been reacting to a lot of trailers, 3 good and 2 bad, but oh my gosh. Let's pray tell that the next trailer I'm going to look at better be good, because I don't want to go torture myself again. I mean, I've been tortured by Teen Titans and Woody Woodpecker, and may the next trailer, pray tell, won't torture me, but I hope it's good. Well, here goes nothing.
Ready, set, it's time. Come on, to play. Ta-da!
I know, I remember them.
Animal no get.
I remember that cartoon.
I love playing songs. Piggy. Summer.
Ooh.
I can draw anything. Fuzzy. Waka waka. 1, 2, 3. Gonzo. And Animal. Adventures. Action. And rock and roll.
That's cute.
Every day, it's time to play with the Muppet Babies. Come and play Friday, March 23rd at 10 on Disney Channel.
It wasn't that bad. I remember that cartoon from the 80s, Muppet Babies. It is like cute, interesting. You can learn a lesson or a few. Now, this cartoon is a reboot of the 1980s cartoon. And the cartoon from the 80s ran from 1984 to 1992. And the cartoon was, believe it or not, based on a fantasy sequence from the movie Muppets Take Manhattan, where they show them as babies. And so I'm watching a reboot based on a cartoon from the 80s, based on a fantasy sequence from an 80s movie. So, yeah. And due to the success of the cartoon from the 80s, which ran from 1984 to 1992, it spawned a lot of copycats, mostly from Hanna-Barbera. Like Flintstone Kids, A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, Tom and Jerry Kids, Yo Yogi, and Warner Brothers cashed in on it with Tiny Toon Adventures. And I heard an announcement and on 3 years ago, and I thought, how is this going to work? Who would voice who? And I'm guessing that Kevin Michael Richardson, who was a voice of Cleveland Jr., would do a great Baby Kermit. And Gray Delisle, who voiced Tootie in Fairly Odd Parents, and Lola Loud in The Loud House, would be a great voice for Miss Piggy. Tara Strong of Timmy Turner would do a good Gonzo. Duran Norris, who voiced Cosmo, would do a great Fozzie Bear. Richard Stephen Horvitz would do a great Animal, Billy from Billy and Mandy, because I was watching one episode called The Bubble with Billy, and he was doing yeah 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 yeah. It kind of reminded me of Animal.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, 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 no. Yeah.
And Dee Bradley Baker would do a great Scooter and Skeeter, but apparently Dee Bradley Baker's voicing Animal, Ben Deskin is Gonzo, and I don't know who the other voices are, but the characters look strikingly similar to the 80s cartoon. The Animal in the 2018 version looks different from the 1984 to 1992 cartoon, and Fozzie looks the same. Gonzo looks similar. Piggy looks the same. And Kermit He looks similar, except I noticed something. The green in the 80s cartoon was dark green, while the green in the new one is like a pastel colored light green. And I noticed something about his clothes. 80s cartoon, he had like a sailor suit, which is worn by Victorian children in the Victorian period. Those little Donald Duck like suits, and later he's like wearing this. His shirt and his pants are like similar to it, but it's not like the shirt's not like a sailor's type shirt. It's like a parody of those polo type shirt, except a little frog in the corner. I mean, sailors like water, frogs like water, and this iconic sailor suit was like worn by Victorian children in England to Japanese schoolgirls in Japan. I mean, it's even it's slipped its way into popular culture from like Donald Duck to Sailor Moon. Oh yeah. I can't understand why Sailor Moon is so stinking popular. Jack Buchanan knows about it. And I noticed one detail. There's like one scene where like the boulder is running in and ended up being chased by a boulder. Was that footage taken from Raiders of the Lost Ark? That's what I'm here to talk about right now. Raiders from the Lost Ark, because I remember the 80s cartoon, they have a lot of clips from movies you're too young to watch or unfit to watch or your parents wouldn't let you watch. Here are the list of clips that got featured on Muppet Babies, the original one, that were shown. Yeah, those are a list of films that your parents wouldn't let you watch when you're young, and boy, they're like, ew, and it comes to a moment where like, are you kidding? And here are a list of clips that got featured on the show that your parents wouldn't mind letting you watch. So anyway, lists aside, I like to thank this show for introducing me to movies that I would enjoy and I would find really entertaining. I like to thank this cartoon because this was better than, I don't know, Walter Lantz cartoons. And I enjoyed it, the Muppet Babies, and I like to thank this cartoon for inspiring me to track down clips. To track down those movies where these clips came from. I mean, if it wasn't for that one, I wouldn't have the backbone to watch these movies. And what I like about, because there was like one example was the episode Out of This World History, which talks about history from like the prehistoric past to the future. And there's like one episode called it was one scene where they run to where the characters in the days of the dinosaur, this dinosaur, and the dinosaur footage was from the 1925 classic The Lost World. I enjoyed that scene. I was 7 back then. I was thinking, why can't I watch movies like that? Because I was tired of being stepped on and walked on. I needed like the backbone to track down these movies and watch them and enjoy them. And yeah, I was 7 and it was like an old black and white movie that had a dinosaur on the loose. And then there was another episode called Babes in Troyland, which talks about Greek mythology, and one of the characters is like looking for Medusa, and they ask like this character, which is a clip from the film Flesh Gordon. Yeah, the Nesuraya, the great god porno. And it was basically showing his face, but I couldn't recognize it until I discovered it many years later, and I was thinking, Oh my gosh! They shown a scene from a porno film and they put into a kid's cartoon. I mean, like I said, a lot of clips from movies your mama wouldn't allow you to watch, neither will your father. But I noticed that they had like clips from Looney Tunes, Peanuts, Popeye, and yeah, those kind of shows. And they even had like guest appearances. One of them was Stan Lee. Stan Lee himself. That was like new footage, but no. They just made the live action footage just for the sake of the show. Stan Lee himself. Oh yeah. A lot of 80s cartoons had its freakiest moments. Like in the Smurfs Christmas special, they sang the bad guy away and like fade away. Or when the Ninja Turtles were like lusting over April O'Neil and when she was dressed up in this pretty gown. And there was, oh yeah, the original My Little Pony Generation 1 where they're up against this devil named T-Rex. It's like too scary. And freakiest moment would have to be an ode to weirdness where Gonzo was showing the Scooter weird dances. One of them was like a music video of Lionel Richie's dancing on the ceiling. and but this freakiest part was like a Moomin Chan's performer. He was like dressed up in black tights, black bodysuit, and was wearing a white, puffy, featureless mask with no features, like contorting around. I was like, ugh, WTF. Oh my gosh, because I know Jim Henson had a lot of connections with Moomin Chance, and they appeared on such segments for one of their shows like Sesame Street and The Muppet Show. Yeah, I shudder to think. And also, yeah, speaking of which, the original, I'm glad that the Muppet Babies 2018 is like playing on the Disney Channel and Disney Junior, and it's good because I shudder to think if they put a contrasting show after it, because back when Muppet Babies was in its original run, they played it here. They played on CBS. The trouble was the scheduling. I mean, first was the Wuzzles, followed by the Berenstein Bears, and then Muppet Babies, and then Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling. I mean, whoa. One of these things is not like the others. And, how about a little game? Just watch carefully and find out which of these shows is not like the others.
One of these things is not like the others. One of these things doesn't belong. Can you tell which thing is not like the others? Before I finish my song, now I'm gonna sing. You look.
Do you find out which one? Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling. Yeah, it sticks out like a sore thumb. Because the previous four were like cute, sweet, moral-inducing cartoons, while the other one is like, grrr, rock 'em, sock 'em, action type stuff. And it's very contrasting. I mean, it's like candy with spinach, coffee with ketchup, hamburger with sugar. Oh, I'm sorry for nauseating you there. If you're eating, don't listen to that part. I'm sorry, I should have warned you earlier. Apologies. So, yeah. It's very contrasting. This show, the original Muppet Babies was TVY, and the new one is going to be TVY, no doubt. I mean, a lot of classic cartoons are getting rebooted. I mean, Danger Mouse in 2015, Powerpuff Girls in 2016, DuckTales in 2017, give it a watch, and now Muppet Babies in 2018. Excuse me. So I highly recommend to give it a watch and see if you can find footage from other movies or TV shows there. But I guess that most of the movies and clips there are going to be from Disney, since they're like contracted to Disney, because I believe that the the original show had clips from many, many, many sources, such as MGM, Universal, Paramount, and public domain stuff, and and which is why it's very hard to put it out on DVD, because they have to ask permission from like other sources, from other companies to do so. So yeah, maybe the rights of most of these shows must have of these things must have expired. So give it a go. I mean, the original show's on YouTube, so give it a watch. And anyway, the original cartoon was good, and I like it when the new one, they have like Kermit flailing his arms like in a Muppet Show. Yay! It's hilarious and cute, and that's why I like it. That's all I gotta say about it. So, if you're a parent with kids, give it a watch. It's like one of these shows where you just turn it on and leave the kids there. The little kids there, and just mind your own business. And if I recommend to give the new one a watch. You might find some Easter eggs. And if there's like no footage from like any other TV show or film, then it comes to show you that this ain't your parents' Muppet Babies. So, this is Matthew B. Lamont reminding you to like and subscribe. See ya!